And here we go. So, another new moon, another yin new moon session. So I've still got my socks on. You can get nice and cozy here tonight. Make sure you've got it all softened out. And we're going to start in a comfortable meditative posture. So whether you're cross-legged, whether you're kneeling, find something to sit on. Preferably you want the knees lower than the hips, or at least level with the hips. So find your seat. I'll just bring my bowl in. Have a little fidget. Make sure you're comfortable. We'll just take 5 minutes of mindfulness here. Shrink that worry center. 5 minutes of mindfulness every day helps to shrink your amygdala, what they call the worry center. So place your hands somewhere they can rest, the shoulders can relax. Feel a little uplift through the spine and the crown of the head. And maybe lowering your gaze or closing your eyes completely. Just start to settle in. Let the body be soft. Start to feel the breath. Feel the movement of the breath in the body. That expansion as you breathe in. The softening as you breathe out. Just following that wave-like motion, that rise and fall. The movement of the breath, gently rising and falling in the belly. The breath just breathes itself. We just simply take time to notice it. And then expand your awareness to the whole body. Feel the contact of the feet on the floor. Position of the knees, the legs. Your seat, your sitting bones. Your foundation. Feeling the spine gently lifting up through the crown. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, softening down from the crown through the face, shoulders. Breathe in gently up through the spine to the crown, breathe out, softening through the face, the jaw, the shoulders, the elbows. Softening down each time you breathe out. Face, shoulders, elbows, wrists. And feeling the palms of the hands resting on the legs. And back to the movement of the breath in the belly. Whole body. See yourself sitting here in your mind's eye, sitting here breathing mindfully. Let's slowly blink those eyes open. And let's gently just move out of our seat. Take the easiest option for yourself. Just move the bolster or your cushion, whatever, to the side for a moment. And then you're going to come into butterfly. So we want the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Maybe just I like to have a little wiggle side to side, release any flesh, find my sitting bones again. Find that space and that length up through the crown. And then just gently folding forward. So you can bring your cushion or bolster in here, place it over the feet and use it as a little ledge for your arms and your head. We're going to be here about 3 to 5 minutes, so if you've never done yin before, I'll just talk you through a little bit. So your feet don't need to be in this posture. They can be in a nice, it can be a nice long diamond shape here in between the legs. We want to approach it softly without any muscle activation. So one of the first principles of yin is to come into the pose at a depth that's right for you. So what I mean by that is we're going to be here for 3 minutes, maybe longer. So don't go straight to your number 8, 9, 10 on that scale of 10. Maybe just come into it at about 5 or 6 so that you can soften and relax into it. The second principle is that we don't move, we kind of rest here. Once we're in the posture, we bring the body into stillness, we just kind of marinate here. Of course, if there's any pain, move out of the posture, or back off, or just don't go so low. And as you come into stillness, the muscles start to relax and deactivate. And so we go beyond the muscle and we start to move into areas of the body that maybe the other styles of yoga can't get quite as deep. So we're getting beyond the muscle into the connective tissue that wraps around everything, the fascia. Some people refer to it as fascia. Connective tissue, the ligaments, the tendons, the joint spaces. So all those deeper structures of the body. Some people liken yin to a little bit like a deep tissue massage. So we've just got a few breaths left here. Just breathe, maybe even close your eyes if you haven't already. Allow those exhales to soften down through the body. And then we start to breathe in, we lift up, we move the bolster or whatever prop we've got just to the side. And we have a little lie down here. The beauty of yin is that we have a little rebound in between postures. So have a little lie down, it doesn't have to be on your back, whatever's comfy. Close your eyes, tune in, notice whatever arises, any of those sensations bubbling up to the surface. You may be feeling it especially in the lower half of the body. It's a time to also just do nothing, so don't feel like you have to feel anything or notice anything. Let's draw those knees in. Let's just have a little small circle here with the knees. Feel the sacrum get a little massage here as you circle one way. And then circle the other way. So we've gone past the new moon. It was Thursday, but hey ho, we're here now on Monday and we can still pick up a little bit on that energy. Let's draw the knees out to the side. Circle your feet, rolling out the ankles. And then let's go the other way. And then bring the knees together so let your arms go long. And then you're going to circle the knees apart, circle them back together. Keep your feet gently touching. Feel it into the shoulders as well. We're just rolling out the joints before we take our next yin posture. Let's go the other way. Keep connection to your breath if you can. It'll help you step into your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. So we're going to come up now. If you've got any back injuries, lower back issues, you can roll onto a side. If not, we use the hinge. So soft bend in the knees, hands palm down, slide under the bottom. Lift the head, really important, protect the core. Breathe out, take the legs down a little bit, breathe in, and then hinge. So it's a push on the hands and a sort of swing up with the legs. And we come up, back up to seated. We're going to come into our dragonfly. So wide-ish with the legs. Remember, don't go straight for that, oh, I can go this wide, because we're not just having a few breaths here. We're going to sit again. We're going to marinate in this posture. So feel free to make a little ledge under your bum with a rolled up blanket or a tiny cushion. Elevate the hips a little bit can help. Try and relax your legs, so let everything be a little bit loose and floppy. And again, you can have your bolster or cushion, block and a blanket, whatever it is, maybe out in front, so that we lift up, make that space, and then we gently fold forward. We might not get very far, so use whatever you need to use to prop your elbows up. Maybe the chin can come into the hands, or maybe you prefer to drop the head completely. So feeling the target areas up the inside of the legs and into the groin. So if you're feeling a stretch up along there, maybe into the hips and the lower back too, then bingo, you're there. And then there's nothing else to do. We just simply soften. So one nice way of softening is to come back into that movement of the breath. Close the eyes if that feels good to you. And just start to follow the movement of the breath, rising and falling. It's a nice sensation of opening as you breathe in, of softening, releasing as you breathe out. So new moon, opportunity, it's a new cycle, some new beginnings. We can maybe even think about those seeds that we planted a couple of weeks back for Imulk. Or maybe there's something new rippling up to the surface, trying to find its way up, shooting its energy up, as those new shoots do. So yin, it's nice to do some yin and tune in, listen in, close the eyes. Maybe something will bubble up. Maybe it doesn't. But a nice time to set intentions, or find a mantra that suits you, a sankalpa, a dedication of intention, as it were. You might already have one that is working for you or has just arisen. If not, maybe one will bubble up during the practice before the end. If not, you can use one of mine. If you're feeling super critical of yourself. I am enough is a good mantra to repeat. Tell yourself that I am enough. Because we're so, well, I don't know about you, but I can be super critical. And I think sometimes we wouldn't, if we caught ourselves what we were saying to ourselves, we wouldn't say that to our best friend. So why say it to ourselves? So I am enough is a good one for that. I am strong for if you're feeling maybe not as confident at the moment, or a little bit depleted. I am strong. So it can be something really simple, 1 or 2 or 3 words. I like Nem's one for me milk. Focus on growing, not shrinking. We just got a few more breaths left here, but feel free to release early. Feel free to release now if you like. So softly, slowly, we unfurl. Never move too quick out of these postures, because it's almost like you've been in traction. Just gently move, bolster out of the way, and we're going to come onto our bellies for a little belly rest. So all the way down, placing the hands as for a pillow either under your forehead or under your chin. Have a little wiggle out with the knees, the legs, the hips. Just move any fleshy bits out of the way. And then just take a few breaths here, lying on your belly, settle in. And then we're going to come up into Sphinx. So we bring the elbows and the forearms onto the mat. Maybe elbows under the shoulders. I'm just going to move my bolster. If that's too much for you in your back, so check in with your back, how does it feel? You can walk your elbows a bit further forward, or even walk them right out in front, elbows together, and go for a lower Sphinx with the chin in the hands. But if you can, elbows under, forearms out in front, have a little wiggle. Maybe legs are together, maybe they're apart. I like them apart, but both have benefits. So settle in to what feels right for you. Don't feel afraid to have a little fidget at first, and anyway, I'm not watching you, I'm not judging you, so you can do whatever you like. We're going to take 3 to 5 minutes here. So again, if it starts to feel too much for you, you can come down back onto that belly rest. So one other option before we tune in is to either have the chin lifted, the head lifted, or have it neutral, align with the spine, or drop it down, or do a combo of all three during those 3 minutes. If you can, close your eyes and let's start to get into the body. So feel the breath in the belly. As you breathe in, there'll be a little pressure against the mat as your belly expands. And as you breathe out, that softens and relaxes, and your lower back just drops softly into that space. So first we connect with the breath. Then we connect with the target area, which is your lower back. So we don't want any twinges or little niggles. Then we expand our awareness to the rest of the body. Feel the elbows on the mat. Feel the shoulders drawn down the back. Allow your buttocks to relax and soften. That's the major muscle that might take a little time to deactivate, soften. Let's do a little bit of breath work here. So breathe in from your belly button up through your front to your crown, and as you breathe out, breathe down the back of the head, backs of the shoulders, lower back. Breathe in up through the front of the body, crown of the head. As you breathe out, send the breath down the back, relaxing, releasing. Breathing in, almost imagining the back as the side of a valley, and your breath is like the water trickling down through the hill, down through those crevices. Two more breaths. And then we're going to slowly lower down onto our belly. Maybe the same posture as before, with the chin on the hands or the forehead on the hands. Or if you prefer, you can turn your cheek onto the side and wing the same knee out to the side. Almost like a little commando crawl. And that's a nice decompression for the spine. So just soften and relax for a couple of breaths here. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the nourishment of the breath. Let's slowly bring the hands under the shoulders. Lift yourself gently up into a little child's pose. So maybe with the knees apart, knees together, any version of child's pose that works for you. You can even bring in your bolster and hug that in. Whatever works for you. We'll take about 10 breaths here. So settle in. Find the posture that works for you. We're all so unique. Don't have the same joint space exactly, the same connections, the same muscle length. So close your eyes again. Allow the body to be soft. See if you can drop into that sweet spot where you just give in and you just allow yourself to be here. So let's breathe in, lift up, move your bolster just to the side, come into a little tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to slide our right knee forward, and we're going to slide our left leg long and back. So with your right foot, you can slide it over underneath your left hip, or you can leave it under the right hip. And then maybe staying here on the hands, or maybe coming down onto the forearms, maybe having a pillow or a blanket here as well, maybe for your head or your arms. Maybe you can drop down even further and go into sleeping swan. So adjust until you feel that you can start to relax. So maybe you want your hands back under your head like we had before in our belly rest. So hopefully feeling it in the right buttock, the right glute. So number one, we come in at the right depth, not too deep, so we can soften and relax. What might happen is after a few breaths or so, we do drop into a deeper, maybe a deeper physical space, or maybe just deeper in our mind and in our body, relaxing in, softening. Each time you exhale, softening, relaxing the body. Maybe checking in with other areas as well as the target area. Maybe expanding that awareness back out to the whole body. Allow the face to be soft and the jaw to be heavy. Soften through the shoulders as you breathe out. Soften into any part that feels a little bit tight. Use the exhalation. And then let's breathe in. Think about how we're going to come up. So start to support your body, maybe onto the forearms at first, then slide the hands under. Take the hips back and slide that leg back. Take a little belly rest. See if you can feel the difference now between one side of your body and the other. And this is the power of yin. It doesn't feel like we need to do very much, but so much happens inside, internally. So just gently draw yourself back up onto your tabletop. Left knee slide forward, and then position your right foot either over to the, position your left foot over to the right hip, or keep it under the same hip if you prefer. And then you're going to slide that right leg back. Hips sink down. We have a momentary upright swan just to see how it feels. And then we use any props, adjust, stay on your hands or your forearms, or maybe you can recline down even further into sleeping swan. And then once you're there in the posture, close your eyes. Start to follow the breath. Breathing however you want to. Sometimes a little sigh helps to release. Sometimes a gentle smile. Again, will give you that little dopamine hit. As you smile, the message is sent to the brain, and the brain responds by sending out happy endorphins. So if you can, we've just got 3 or 4 breaths here. If not, release, relax back onto your belly. Have a little scan, have a little body scan. See if there's anywhere still resisting. Breathe out into that area. And then we're going to come back all the way up. Take a little child's pose. We're not going to stay there too long, we're just going to take maybe a few breaths. If you don't like child's pose, you can try puppy pose with the hips up and the arms out in front. But wherever you're at, we're going to stretch the arms out in front, so knees are wide. Stretch the arms out in front. Even if you're high like this, stretch the arms out just a bit further. So all we're going to do here is we're going to thread our arm through. So thread the needle. So we're going to scoop the right hand in between the gap. Work it forward as far as you can, and then gently lower yourself down so that your right ear comes onto the mat, or whichever side you've gone for. Your head, side of your head gently rests. You're getting a stretch through the shoulder and a twist through the upper spine. One more breath here. And then we're going to lift back up into the middle, back into child's pose for a moment. Take a nice deep breath. And then scoop, thread that arm through. See if you can melt down onto the floor for a few breaths, or at least drop your head towards the ground. One more breath. And let's come back up into child's pose. Draw the feet behind. Cross the legs or swing the legs around to come with the legs out in front. Let me just check the time here, guys. Okay, so yeah, we've just got one thing left to do before we take our nice relaxation. So make sure your pillow or bolster is to one side again. We're going to come lie flat on our back. Maybe draw those knees in. Let's have a sway. Sway side to side. And then we're going to have our little twist, our reclined twist. So, either feet on the mat, arms out to the side, either long arms or cacti arms, depends how much room you've got. Feet on the mat, you can just drop the knees to the left. See how that feels. You might want a bit of support under your left thigh. Or I'm going to go through another version, twisted roots, right thigh crosses over left thigh. And then you drop your knees to the left. And they kind of hold each other there together. And make sure it's not too strong a sensation in the back and the spine. Other version is cradle twist, feet off the mat, and then just gently drop the knees to the left. So you can always have support underneath if your knees don't quite make it, because you don't want your knees to be hanging in the air, because you won't be able to relax. So prop it if you need to, so that you can really relax into the twist. So aim to keep your right shoulder and right elbow grounded into the floor, nestled onto the floor rather. We want contact so that we're not over twisting. And then the head can be either neutral, or you can turn it in the opposite direction to the knees. So spinal twist. We'll take a couple of minutes here. Again, start to drop down with the breath, with those exhalations. Allow your body to surrender a little bit. Start to feel as if you're going to sleep. The body. Allow those muscles to completely soften. Nothing to do but breathe. So again, we feel the movement of the breath in the center, in the belly. The Mahakunda. The Mahakunda, the great magical pot of the belly. So just rest your awareness there, feel into the twist. We're getting a little squeezing out here through the middle. Imagine wringing out an old dirty cloth. We're wringing out our insides, twisting through the abdomen, the organs. So the liver is getting a nice squish. And now we're going to release to the middle. We're going to have our little sway. Let's take a nice deep breath in, and as we breathe out, lift the head to the knees, a little reset. And then we're going to go to the other side. So whichever version you liked before, you might like the same on the other side. Remember, you can prop it if you need to. If you're flexible like that and your knees just go down to the side, sometimes what I do is use my prop on the outer leg instead to give it some weight so it can just relax into it. So close your eyes. Adjust as you need to. Now we're getting the twist through the left, through the spleen, and we're getting a little bit of a stretch. So the organs, it's a bit like an old sponge in the garden or an old cloth. If you pick it up and give it a bit of water, squeeze it, stretch it, all that dirt comes out. And that's exactly what we've done with our bodies tonight, which is why they say it's a little bit like a deep tissue massage. Because that's what we've done, we've stretched out all the deep tissue. Sometimes we've squeezed it. But there's nothing much left to do. Heading towards the final resting posture. more breaths here. Softening through the body. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Move anything you don't want out of the way and just take your lie down. Relax into Shavasana. Get yourself as comfy as you can. Blankets, maybe eye pillows. Nothing left to do. Closing your eyes, resting your awareness back in the belly, back in those wave-like motions of the breath, coming and going. Start to let the body sink, release. Each exhalation like a wave down the body. Deep within your abdomen, we find our own light, our own sun, our own little pilot light glimmering away. Deep within the abdomen, a small flicker of light growing and growing. With each inhalation, the light starts to spread and radiate, radiating out in all directions, just like the sun's rays. Starting to fill every single space in the abdomen. the back, the sides, top and the bottom of the abdomen starts to fill with beautiful, warm, healing light. The light starts to fill every single cell, every single gland. Until the light bursts forth from the abdomen, up through the chest, into the rib cage, filling every single space within the ribs. Slowly, gently nurturing around the heart space. The light continues to spread up through the neck, the throat, shoulders, back of the head, streaming through every single hair. Until it softly starts to spill over the face, softly trickling warm, healing light, softening down through the eyes, cheekbones, the jaw, and the light continues to stream down the sides of the neck, over the shoulders, down the arms, elbows, the wrists. Filling the palms of both hands with light. And the light continues to burst from the abdomen, streaming down through the legs, into the knees, spreading warmth and nourishment down through the calves and the shins. Spilling into the feet, the heels, the soles, the pads, and each and every single toe. So just before we come back, I'll read you this poem, one of my favourites. We Have Come to Be Danced by Jewel Matteson, I think she's called. We have come to be danced, not the pretty dance, not the pretty pick me dance, but the claw our way back into the belly of the sacred sensual animal dance, the unhinged, unplugged, cat is out of its box dance, the holding the precious moment in the palms of our hands and feet dance. We have come to be danced, not the jiffy booby shake your booty for him dance, but the wring the sadness from our skin dance, the blow the chip off our shoulder dance, the slap the apology from our posture dance. We have come to be danced, not the monkey see monkey do dance, 1 2 dance like you, 1 2 3 dance like me dance, but the grave robber, tomb stalker, tearing scabs and scars open dance, the rub the rhythm roar against our souls dance. We have come to be danced, not the nice invisible self-conscious shuffle, but the matted hair-flying voodoo mama shaman shaking ancient bones dance, the strippers from our casings return our wings, sharpen our claws and tongues dance, the shed dead cells and slip in to the luminous skin of love dance. We have come to be danced, not the hold our breath and wallow in the shallow end of the floor dance, but the meeting of the Trinity, the body, breath and beat dance, the shout hallelujah from the top of our thighs dance, the mother may I, yes you may, take 10 giant leaps dance, the ollie ollie oxen free dance, the everyone can come to our heaven dance. We have come to be danced, where the kingdoms collide in the cathedral of flesh, to burn back into the light, to unravel, to play, to fly, to pray, to root in skin sanctuary. We have come to be danced. We have come. So have yourself a little stretch out, a wiggle out if you haven't already. Do what you need to do. You don't have to come back up to seated, you can just press your leave button if you like, if you prefer. But if you're coming up to seated, we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart space. We'll drop the head to the heart for a moment, just close the eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. And as we breathe out, we say Namaste. Namaste, thank you all for joining me on another full moon, no not full moon, new moon yin yoga. Let me just say namaste to my YouTubers, namaste.